He is the undefeated, the rising star. A lot of people think he is going to be a future champion in the UFC, and a lot of you have been asking me to have him on the program. I'm talking about Ilia Topuria, and he joins us first off via the magic of Zoom. There he is, Ilia. ¿Cómo estás?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
What's happening?
Muy bien. ¿Y cómo estás tú?
Oh, yes. It's great to have you.
Good?
It's good. Yes, I'm doing very well. You're always very nicely coiffed and groomed. Everything is just perfect with you. I like it very much. Much respect.
Yeah. Not just trying to be the best in fighting, trying to be the best looking too.
I like it. Respect, my friend. What was your reaction, Ilia? And thank you so much for coming on. What was your reaction when you found out that Movsar had to pull out of the fight?
So I was a little bit sad, because he talks too much on Twitter, and he told me like, you are not a matador. I'm going to use you like the red rag and blah, 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 blah. And I'm here right now in LA. Where he is, no one knows. He pulled out because he tested positive 3 weeks before the fight. And he didn't even say like, hey guys, give me a chance to test myself before the fight week. Maybe I'm going to test negative, and I'm in. I'm not going to pull out so quickly. So I was sad, but it is what it is. Things like this happen, When you don't deal with real man's, things like this happens,
People were very excited about this matchup. Is this like, if all goes well on Saturday, do you want to revisit it with him, or are you done with Movsar?
Yeah, I was excited too because he was undefeated, but right now he lost his undefeated before even he steps in the octagon with me. So he pulled out from the fight. I was in the same situation when I make my UFC debut, I test positive like 10 days before the fight, and they call me, and I test myself like 5 days after, and I test negative, and I didn't say anything.
Right.
I get short notice fight.
Yeah, 8 days, right?
That's not an excuse. Yeah, when so many people are waiting for this fight, you can't do things like this,
When the news came out, it seemed like you were interested in fighting Dan Ige, and this isn't the first time you've said or maybe expressed your desire to fight Dan. You also did it after the win over Ryan Hall. Why Dan Ige? Why is this a fight that interests you so much?
The first time when I called him out, it was because I was looking all the guys in the top 10, and he was the only guy who was free. Another guys had all the fight bookets, So that's why first time I call him out. I'm calling him out like since 6 months ago. So after this fight, I plan to call him out again. So
why Dan? Why do you want to fight him so much?
That's it. Well, I don't know. I start with him, so I'm gonna finish with him.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know. It's nothing personal.
What was your reaction when you found out Charles was stepping in? Did you like that matchup? Did it get you excited?
Yeah, a lot of people are talking that it's a short notice fight for him, but in reality, it's short notice fight for me too. Because my training camp was focused for a wrestler. Now I'm gonna have to fight a striker. So it's a completely different game plan I'm going to have on Saturday night, but the rest is going to be the same, the first round finish.
First round, I mean, your last 2 fights have been incredible. You're on some kind of roll. People, like I said, very excited about you, think that you will be a future contender, potential champion at 145. Your story is very interesting. You were born in Germany. Your parents are of Georgian descent, correct?
Yeah, correct.
And when you were 15, you moved to Spain. Why did you guys move to Spain?
I don't know. You have to ask it.
You never asked that question? Why are we moving to Spain? That didn't come up?
Yeah, because of the job. We were living in Georgia, and on that time in Georgia, there was a little bit of bad situation, and my parents decided to move to Spain. And I think that's why. And I was a kid, I didn't have any decisions.
Sure. But wait, so when you were born in Germany though, right?
Yeah. I born in Germany. I lived there for 7 years. And then we moved to Georgia, and since 7 to 15, I was living there. Yeah.
And then, and now you call Spain home, but you also train in Miami, correct?
Yeah, I just trained for 2 months in Miami in MMA Masters, but I'm training my whole life in Spain, in Alicante, my team Climent Cup.
How, you
Yeah.
don't hear of a lot of people coming out of Spain in mixed martial arts. How popular
Yeah.
is MMA and the UFC in Spain these days?
Right now, I'm very happy that it's becoming very popular in Spain, little by little, step by step. Like I always say, slow is the fastest way to get what you want.
Hmm.
So little by little.
Do you get a lot of attention? Like, does the media cover you over there? Are they giving you the respect that you
Yeah,
deserve?
right now, yes. Before 1 year, if you tell someone in Spain something about MMA, they will ask you like, "What's that?"
Wow.
And now everyone knows what's MMA, what's UFC.
Because of you.
Everyone, yeah. I think so because me and there is another guy into UFC, Joel Alvarez.
Yeah, he's doing great.
And yeah, he's doing very good too. Yeah.
Are there any local promotions in Spain?
Yeah, but nothing special for the moment.
Okay. And so I understand your father was the one that introduced you to martial arts, right? When you were a little kid, jujitsu?
Yeah, with 4 years, he introduced me in judo. Then when we moved to Georgia, we started training with Greco-Roman wrestling. And finally, when we moved to Spain, we started with BJJ and MMA with all the stuff.
Was he a fighter, or did he train, or he just wanted you, his son, to do it?
No, when he was young, he did wrestling a little bit, but he was a big fan of all the mixed martial arts. He was the first person who talks to me about the UFC, about the Gracies.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you're going to Spain and you're in your teenage years and you're doing this stuff, are the kids that you're in school with, are they saying to you like, well, why aren't you playing football with us? Like, what's this martial arts stuff? Because it's not a part of the culture. It's not that popular there, right?
Yeah. All the kids were so scared with me. They was talking loud. This guy is something, I don't know. It's a little bit rare,
Yeah.
Because no one, 1 year before, no one knows or was knowing what was MMA. Can you imagine what it was 8 years ago?
Yeah.
It was something a little bit rare. When Conor McGregor come in the game, then the people start to understand a little bit more about MMA. But even with that, it was a little bit rare,
Can you even watch the events live there? Like, will they show UFC live? Like this event on Saturday, will it air live in Spain?
Yeah. It's live in Eurosports. I think before was DAZN.
Yeah.
It's DAZN. Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's Eurosport. Yeah.
And for you, by the way, I'm just curious about this. When you moved to Spain, did you know to speak Spanish?
No.
Wow.
Anyway, I didn't know even how to say hello.
That's tough. As a teenager, that's really tough.
Yeah, it was very tough. It was very tough.
How were those early days?
It was tough, because you try to communicate with the people and you can't. But that's one of the reasons that helps you to learn faster, And I was training all the time. The coach was explaining me all the techniques in Spanish, and I learned to talk in Spanish like in 6 months. And I was young, and
right.
When you are young, it's a little bit easier.
In school, it must have been hard, right? Early on, communicating with the teachers, the kids.
Yes, but I left the school when I was like 15 years old.
Oh, what do you mean? You didn't go to school?
No.
What?
Yeah, because when I was 15 years old, I go with my brother to talk to my father, and we tell him like, hey, Dad, we don't want to go to school anymore, but we really want to train, and we're gonna go like all day, every day in the gym, and we're gonna train because my dream was to get to fight in the UFC. And he told me like, if you're really gonna train all the time, and like you tell me, you have my approval.
Wow, what a guy!
Yeah.
A lot of dads wouldn't say yes to that.
Yeah. that's one of the reasons why I make my debut so young in the UFC,
Yeah.
because it's very tough to get into UFC from Spain, because I was living in the United States, or I didn't born here, because it's more easier.
So when you're 15, you're in probably 8th grade, 9th grade, something like that, and your dad was just like, all right, cool. You didn't go back to school after that? That was it for you?
Yeah.
Incredible. What a story. And you just went to the gym all day?
All day. And I became to BJJ black belt with 21 years old. I was competing in all the competitions and in national competitions, all the time. And I was working because I had to pay all the competitions. I was working in 4 works. I had 4 works. I was working because I had to pay all the competitions because it wasn't free.
What were the jobs? The 4 jobs? One was a cashier, right? At Stradivarius. Stradivarius?
Yeah. It's a story of clothes story. Clothes story.
Okay.
And I was doing a grappling classes in another gym. I was working in La Playa, on the beach. On the beach, yeah. And I was working on securities on the weekends.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I went to Barcelona in 2002 when I was in college. One of my favorite trips ever. We went to Playa Barceloneta. You know Barceloneta? Las Ramblas. Oh, we had a great time on Las. Because I have to say with the Las Ramblas, right? We have to say with the list.
La Ramblas.
La Rambla, same thing, yes. Yeah. Oh, what a place. It's a magical place. Incredible.
Yeah, if you come to Spain again, you're going to have a good time. Just call me.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So what about this Arnold Schwarzenegger tournament that you won? Arnold Fighter? What was that all about?
Yeah. It was when I was 17 years old, they did a competition called Arnold Fighters.
Wow.
It was an MMA competition. And when I go to the competition, my fight was the first fight, in the event. And before I start the fight, Arnold come to the cage, and he watched just my fight.
Wow!
After my fight, he comes here to the United States to watch the Conor McGregor's fight against Chad Mendes, because he was supposed to fight with Jose Aldo, and he watched his fight. And I always say, like, Arnold is watching the MMA because of me.
Wow!
Because I had a really great performance. I did a suplex and. This is why I'm all the time joking with my friends.
Did you meet him?
Yeah, of course. I have a picture. There is even a small documentary movie called El Día que Conocí a Arnold. Yeah.
What does that mean?
One day you will see. Today I meet Arnold.
Oh, it's a movie about you meeting him.
Yeah. It's a movie about the whole competition.
Yeah.
And there is some moments how I meet him, how we did the picture and all this. I was a kid, with that beard and with that. And you will see that movie will be famous one day.
I bet. Yeah, when you're a UFC champion, people are going to look back to this moment with the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger there. Is that like a yearly tournament they have there, the Arnold Fighter Tournament?
Yeah, I don't know if they keep doing that competition. I don't know. I don't want to lie.
Okay, yeah. But that is a cool thing. Good for you. By the way, what gives you like with a lack of a better, like, how do you have the guts growing up in Spain or being in Spain and saying to your dad, hey, I just want to go to the UFC. I want to train every day, all day. When people don't come from your country where you're living at the time to the UFC, like, what gave you the sort of dream to do that?
I don't know. I ask myself all the time why, but I didn't get that answer. It was something that was living inside myself, and I like a lot to motivate myself. I should wake up every morning and to tell myself, like, hey, Ilia, you have like 2 options: to keep sleeping and keep with your dreams, or wake up and make it true. So I don't know why. It was something was living inside myself. I didn't have that answer,
And who was your first favorite fighter? Like, who was the one that kind of drew you to the UFC and MMA?
GSP.
Oh, yeah?
GSP. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. When he was the first man, I was thinking, I want to be like him. And Anderson Silva, yeah, there was a lot of fighters, yeah. Then Conor McGregor comes in the game.
You ever meet GSP?
A lot of big. No, I never meet him. It will be a big pleasure.
Yes, I bet you will. Now, what about your brother? Did he follow the same path as well?
Yeah. He's a professional fighter too. He gets his black belt in the same day like me, but he get an injury in his shoulders. He had a surgery, but now he starts to fight again, and you will see him in the UFC soon.
Okay,
I bet for it.
I like what weight?
In 61 to bantamweight.
Oh, okay. You used to fight a bantamweight, and then you missed weight, right, with Cage Warriors?
Yeah. I tried to fight in bantamweight. I make that mistake, but never again.
Never again. You think 145? You're still relatively young. You think 145 is going to be your weight, or eventually do you think you'll have to move to 55?
No. I'm gonna stay in 145, and when I'm gonna beat here everyone, and then I'm gonna start to think about move.
Yeah.
To 155, but not because to stay in 155 just to make some big fights and come back.
And
so we'll see. I don't like to talk about that things, go up, come down. First of all, I want to smash everyone in this division, take that belt, and then we'll see. Everything will come.
In your mind, how long before you're in the title picture? How long is it going to take?
I think I will be ready for the next year, and the beginnings of the next year, because this year I want to make like 3 or 4 fights, and then I will be ready for the fight. So the next year you're gonna see me with the belt.
I love that. And your dad, what does he say about all of this? I guess he feels pretty good about letting you leave school and train, right?
I'm happy. He's happy, and I really appreciate it that he gives me the opportunity to fight for my dreams. This is what I want to do with my kids, Even if he wants to dance, I'm gonna push him. I'm gonna tell him, like, you want to dance, but be the best. You want to fight, but be the best. You want to learn, be the best, and I always will help you.
That is beautiful. Does he watch your fights? I'm assuming he does. I'm assuming he's your biggest fan.
Yeah, of course. He, my mom, my sisters, my brother, my family.
Your mom likes that you fight?
Yeah, of course. She likes what I like,
Yeah, that's good. That's a good mom. And so Saturday, like I said, your last 2 fights, impressive, highlight reel finishes. What are we expecting on Saturday?
So I always say, when I have a proper training camp, I make everyone look easy, Look, my fight against Ryan Hall, people was telling me, he was looking horrible,
Mm-hmm.
This is what's going to happen this Saturday. Now people are going to say, this guy didn't train for a day in mixed martial arts. I'm going to make him really easy.
Wow. Okay.
Everyone's going to see it. Yeah.
You're not a big fan of the Ryan Hall style, right?
No, not a big fan. He's a very boring fighter.
I respect your opinion.
I'm honest. There is a lot of guys I like to watching them fight, but there is no Ryan Hall.
Okay. What's this tattoo here? What does this signify? The crown?
Yeah, this is my logo, This is Topuria. Yeah, and this is the octagon. And king of the octagon.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. El Matador. You're El Matador as well. Would you come out if they let you, if there wasn't a uniform, would you come out in the Matador outfit? The jacket, the pants,
Yeah, of course, man.
That'd be incredible.
Yeah, look, one of my dreams is fight in Spain one day to bring that UFC event in Spain, and it will be a pleasure to come in with that Matador shirt.
Oh my gosh! When I was in Spain, I went to a bullfighting, competition in the big arena.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah, it's
always
mean.
Respect all the traditions.
Yeah,
but
you ever do the running of the bulls in Pamplona?
No, I never did it because, like I told you, I'm not a big fan of that. I didn't like when animals suffer and all this stuff.
Oh, it's horrible. I didn't realize what they were doing. They were sticking the thing in them. It's horrible. People are cheering this on.
Yeah. I respect it, but I didn't share it.
Yeah, you like to beat people up in a cage. That's more civil, right?
Yeah, of course. I like to do it in the cage with the people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you on the show, my friend. I appreciate your time. Good luck to you. Congrats on all your success up until this point. And I'm very much looking forward to your fight on Saturday against Charles Jourdain. So all the best to you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend. It was my pleasure.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. There he is, Ilia Topuria, El Matador, not to be confused with the great Tito Santana. You guys remember Tito Santana? What a legend he was back in the day. He was El Matador for a brief moment. But, I mean, a lot of people very high on Ilia.